to bring them to their area. So now let's get down to what's probably more important, which is the political aspect of all of this. I think the thing that we have to remember is in the Republic form of government, which we basically have three positions in that government, which you all are aware of. And our city council is what is called the legislative branch. And the difficulty in the last few months with the legislative branch is that it has been spent more time misguided. It has spent more time trying to figure out ways to embarrass people, figuring out more ways to do things that I will say are shameful. And I'm not going to let my small speech up here devolve into name-calling. I just won't do that. However, as a group, I think they have missed the boat dramatically. And I think if you're going to name-call, and if you're going to, every time you turn around, ask and demand for another investigation for something which borders on the childish, then you're wasting my time, and most assuredly wasting Mr. Franklin's time. But in a moment or two, I'll get to the connection between myself and Mr. Franklin. So what happens is you get a council that is concerned about having an investigation. And I want to say something to you that is very, very personal to me, which I've only mentioned a couple times to probably my wife and one or two of my close friends. I grew up in Ashtabula. I left here in 1956. I went to college at Ohio University. I went to law school at Ohio State, got a Juris Doctorate. I went and took the bar exam and passed it. And I went into the FBI for 5 years as a special agent in New York because I was qualified to do that. So for me to come back to Ashtabula after being gone 46 years and do something that would be illegal, fraudulent, or unethical, I would be putting on the line my law degree and my license. For what purpose? Even if someone gave me money, I'm going to put all that in jeopardy for what, a couple $100? A friendship? I have very close friends, and I am not about to spend the city's treasury making those friends happy or richer. And I'm not going to put myself in the position where I'm going to lose my law license to do someone a favor. That's not going to happen. So if any of you are looking for me to do you a favor, be very cautious before you come up and ask me about it, because the chances are the answer is no. So now let's look at what we really have to do and where we have to go. The economy in the nation, I don't have to tell you about that if you watched any of the talking head shows this morning. Our national election is all revolving around the economy and how bad it is. And that just filters down. That devolves down into the states and then the county and into the city of Ashtabula. And statistically, I don't know whether all of you know this or not, but let me give you a few seconds to tell you a little bit about Ashtabula that you may not know. There are 88 counties in Ashtabula. We are one. We are the largest county in the state geographically. We are 2/3 the size of Rhode Island. I don't know how many of you know that. We only have 20,362 people, depending upon what Mr. Ducro did last night. And those people pay taxes, and they are you. You are the 20,000 people. And this is your government. I am your city manager. You have a council. You have a city solicitor. And you have, as of Friday afternoon about 2 o'clock, you have about 178 employees. And I would tell you across the board that the city employees, with a few exceptions, do an incredible job for you. And I'm going to tell you something now which is self-aggrandizing, but I want you to take it home with you. I do a hell of a job for you. I start my day about 6:30, 6:45. I start my day about 6:30, 6:45 in the sanitation department, going over what's got to be done that day, then going to public works, and then going to the office. And with real good luck, I can be home by 8 o'clock that night. But 3 to 4 nights a week, I get home around 9, 9:30. And that's because I'm attending committee meetings or going someplace else that McFarland has decided that I should attend. And I go to those meetings, and we work very, very hard at it. And I know that sounds self-aggrandizing, and I don't mean it to sound that way, other than the fact to tell you I'm 70 years old, and I'm in the autumn of my years, and I'm not doing this because it's a hell of a lot of fun. And I'm sure as hell not doing it for the money, because you don't pay me that much. So I want you to understand that when people give of themselves as a civil servant in this city, and when people go out and seek office and you elect them, then you better demand something from them. And if they go out and they're appointed to office, you should demand even more from them, because you didn't put them there. One of the accusations that has been made to me, and I stand accused, and I stand guilty, and that is, people say to me, well, why don't you come back more forthrightly? Why don't you make more noise? Why don't you stand up, pout, and yell and scream? It's not the way my mother and father cut me down. I am not going to name call. I am not going to take the low road. I am not going to go after someone. I am not going to do anything that's going to prevent me from sleeping. I don't sleep too well anyway, just because I'm old and I have a couple dogs who think they should keep me up all night. But the point is that you all own this city. It is yours. And you have to take the time and the effort to say to these people, I want you to do it correctly. I don't care if they don't agree with me. I don't care if they're a Republican. I don't care if they're a Democrat. I don't care if they're an independent, to tell you the damn truth. I don't care if they're a communist. All I want them to do is be thoughtful and say to themselves every time they think about something, what is the best thing for me to do for as many of you as possible? Because that's the decision and the choices that I make every day. And one of the things that the young ladies who work for me have started to refer to me as Tony by the numbers Cantagallo. And that's exactly how I do it. When we have a problem, we're going to fix it by the numbers. There are no favors. I don't do favors. I have been put in the position over the last 3 years of having to terminate numerous city employees, starting from on high with the chief of police and going down to people in sanitation and public works and the wastewater treatment plant. I think the only one I've skipped so far is the fire department, but they seem to be walking the line, so I don't have a problem with that. And we have rid the city of a lot of problems, and we have gotten departments that are working magnificently. So to come along and make derisory comments about me, fine, I'll put up with that. All I have to say to those people is you back it up with the truth. To make derisory comments about Mr. Franklin is really abominable. Mr. Franklin has the same education I have. He has the same licensing requirements that I have. He has the same license that I have. And I would tell you, I feel free to admit to you, he's a damn better lawyer than I am. I hated every minute of law school. I went there because my mother and father thought it was a great idea, and no one ever really asked me. Michael likes what he does because he's damn good at it, and you people are damn fortunate to have him.